And another woman that could take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony.
Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it's going to be going through the rankings of my entire perfume collection. Now, I got requested to do this video several months ago, but I was working on it. This entire year, each week from January 1 till now, I had a fragrance of the week. So I would wear that fragrance the entirety of the week and take notes on it because I'm a very thorough person. If you're not familiar with my channel, hi, welcome. I do crochet hair reviews where I wear out crochet hair for many and many weeks to give you a solid, well-rounded review. How would you think I'm any different in the beauty department? I'm gonna give you well-rounded reviews on every single fragrance that I own, in depth, in detail, and all of that good stuff. I also want you to know who I am as a fragrance girly, so you aren't surprised by anything or where I put anything in my rankings. I love a floral scent, very floral girl. I don't love a ooey gooey, it's nauseatingly sweet smell. That's never going to be my vibe. I also love a clean scent too. I'm always on the search for the best clean scent that smells, that actually smells, because sometimes clean scents can be pretty weak. The criteria I'm going to be really going for when I'm ranking this is projection. Can you smell me? Do I smell to other people? Do I smell good to other people? Is that fragrance projecting? Everybody knows fragrances cost money. They cost dollars. They can be pretty expensive. And so you want to, some people don't care. You want to smell good for yourself, but some people want to smell good for others. So I'm going to be telling you, how does it smell to others? Can others pick up that scent? And the longevity. I saw a podcast on TikTok, because you always kind of see little clips of podcasts on TikTok, and they were saying longevity doesn't matter. I don't buy fragrance for longevity. I'm going to let you know right now it matters to me. Okay? Well, I'm one of the few and far between where, again, fragrances are an investment. I want longevity. And what I mean is, I want to smell good for at least a good few hours throughout the day. I don't want it to be gone an hour into the day. A lot of people say, well, I'll just reapply. No, I'm not walking around with a refill. People are always like, bring a little refill with you, apply throughout the day. No, for the price I'm paying, you better stay for quite some time. So longevity is something I'm going to also speak on in this video. Does it smell good? Again, in my opinion, and everything I say is going to be my opinion, how I feel. I know we could all have different noses, body chemistries, all of that, but the smell I'm going to evaluate on as well. The next thing I'll be evaluating on, is it a safe blind buy? Meaning, do I think that you could order it online without actually going in the store and smelling it? I'm going to let you guys know that. And then, will I personally be repurchasing it? So those are the things I'll be talking about throughout. I'll probably throw in things too, like, do I like the bottle? Is it expensive? I'll throw in other things as well. But I am going to start with my least favorite to my most favorite. And I hate to do this because this is a lot of people's favorites. I'm already starting with a point where I might lose a lot of people, and I hate to see you go. I hate to see you go at this point, but I do have a lot on this journey that we're going to go through. But my least favorite scent is the Eilish by Billie Eilish scent. I know. I'm not a vanilla girl. I need that to be understood right off bat. I'm not a heavy into vanilla girl. This is a vanilla scent. Now let me go into the notes. This fragrance is a part of the Amber Gourmand family. The top notes are sugared petals, mandarin, warm berries. The middle notes is that creamy vanilla, soft spices, and cocoa. The next note is the sleek woods, warm musk, and tonka beans. For me, and you'll see this come throughout, I'm not a big fan of the cocoa notes. When the cocoa notes hit my nose, it's over for me. Just go ahead and wrap it up for me. This has, to me, weak projection, and it smells very masculine upon my skin. It does not have a feminine smell at all. It smells and dries down very masculine on me. It says it's a gourmand, super ooey gooey, smelly, good, all of that. It's not a gourmand to me. It's not a gourmand at all to me. It is very amber, woodsy. On me, I'm not picking up those warm berries in the opening. I don't ever pick that up. I am not a fan of this scent. I have my tester strips here too, so I'm gonna do a whiff. For me, I smell the vanilla, the cocoa, and that's it. And those two things combined are not a scent that is hitting my nose really well in a way that I like it. The projection on this is weak, which is a fine because again, I'm not even in love with the smell. The projection for me, and meaning that other people smell it, I'd say probably a 4 out of 10. The longevity too isn't really there for me, which is fine because again, I'm not in love with the scent itself, and I will not be repurchasing it. Nor do I think it's a safe blind buy. I think if the notes that I said though speak to you, if you want the vanilla, you want the cocoa, and you're okay with, I could see this being unisex. I don't know if it's officially described as unisex. I could see this being unisex, but this is definitely not a super sweet gourmand scent, that in my opinion. But I hope I didn't lose too many of you guys. I hope y'all sticking with me because we got some good ones on the plate. I promise you. Next we have Replica's Bubble Bath. The notes say this is from the Fresh family. The scent type is fresh florals. The keynotes are soap, bubble accord, rose, white musk, coconut milk accord, and it's described as a unisex clean perfume that blends soothing notes of coconut milk with the freshness of soap bubbles, grounding white musk, and soft floral scents of rose and lavender to recreate the feeling of being in a hot foaming bath. So I'm gonna do my little sniff test for it. I already know how I feel. It smells like soap to me. That soap accord, yep, smells like Dawn dish soap. I would put this in the clean family. It is clean. I'll say, as a clean girl, I bought this, blind bought it because everyone was like, this is the clean of all cleans. And it, honey, fresh, washing my hands. If you wash your hands in the sink, maybe wash it with some Dawn, a little bit of Ivory. It's that scent. It is a toilette, so it is not a perfume, so to speak. So on the scale of perfume to toilette, there's a amount of perfume in each. A toilette lasts less than a perfume, and Replica is known for making toilettes versus perfumes, and some of them have longevity. Toilettes are known not to have a lot of longevity, and I say this one doesn't have a lot of longevity. And to me, the projection isn't that strong on this, which again is fine because I don't want to walk around smelling like a bottle of Dawn. But I would say this is not a safe blind buy, in my opinion. I do think you need to smell this first. I think you need to go. Don't be like me. Do not purchase without smelling it just because you hear clean and fresh. I probably will not repurchase it. I got a long way to go. I don't see myself repurchasing it. I don't think it's terrible as a clean scent. It's just not a scent that I can pick out a time where I think this would be good. There's not a time where I can distinctly say I would reach for bubble bath. I might lose a lot of people today because my next one is a lot of people's faves as well. It's the Victor and Roft Flower Bomb Eau de Perfume. It's in the floral family. Some of the keynotes are a peony accord and a rose accord. Like I said, the family of it is floral and it does pick up floral. And it has everything I love in a scent. The reason I don't like it, it's not my favorite, is because I feel like the lasting power on me is just not that long. It's here for a quick time, not a long time. And I would love this to be around for a long time. And I would love the projection to be higher on this. That is the only reason it's at the bottom. I like the accords that it has. I'm a very good floral girl, and I think this would be a good floral scent. I think it's good for layering. I think this is something I would layer with, but I'm not a big fan of layering. That's another note I need to put. I want to be one and done. Like, I don't want to layer foundations. Like, people have to mix foundations. I want to buy one foundation and that foundation work, that color work, everything works for me. I don't want to mix and match. The same thing goes with my fragrances. I want to be able to pick up one and that have the projection, the longevity, and just the, be the scent, be the main star of the show. I think this is a good, helping cast member, supporting actress. But I don't think for me, this would be the main thing. But it does smell so feminine, so girly. Like, I have a little frilly dress on when I think about wearing this. This is spring. This is what I want. Like, this is floral. When I say floral, I think for me, it's just not lasting. I think it's a safe blind buy if you want a very good floral scent. I do think, though, for me, it's just not the strongest performer. I have better, stronger performers in that category. So a lot of my fragrances aren't, when I rank them, they're not trash. The bottom isn't trash to working up to the best. The bottom is just, there's some in the bottom that I would repurchase. It's just that I got so many good bangers that there might be some that fall at the bottom. Ooh, I'm gonna make a lot of enemies today, honey. Burberry Her. The scent is a floral. It's a fruity floral. It has the dark berries, the jasmine, the musk, the amber. For me, it has a medium longevity, and I pick up a lot of the fruity for me. I do pick up a great deal of the fruity, which is fine. I love for things to lean more floral to me. Like this is more floral to me. The Victor, this has an inch of fruity. Like I know it opens. It's supposed to open. The top notes is what's supposed to open. The middle is supposed to be what's there next, and then the base is supposed to be what you're left with along the way. For me, I never lose the fruity aspect of it. I don't even know if I would put it in any floral. I never pick up the floral. I guess the floral aspect of this is the jasmine, but I always pick up like berries, to me like strawberries, like a red berry, which isn't bad, but I bought it with the intention of florals. Like I just wanted the florals to come through. I heard it was a good floral, and then I got it and I was like, when is the floral coming to me? And I feel like people's noses pick up a different thing because I've watched like little reviews on it afterwards, because I was like, I'm never picking up the floral. I'm never picking up the floral. I always get the fruity. I think the projection on this is strong and the longevity is strong for me. I always keep with that fruity note, and that fruity note is what other people pick up as well. Too fruity can lean a little bit, again, to my head. I'm overindulged in it. I can deal with a lot of floral, but fruity, too fruity for me sometimes leans to like, oh, my head hurts. I'm getting a little weak. I'm getting a little nauseated, especially if I ain't ate in the morning. I'm like, the first thing I smell is these berries. I'm hungry. For me, I love the bottle. I love that you can see exactly what you have in here, and like a eyelash type thing where it's like, am I getting low? I love a good see-through bottle. I think it's a safe blind buy if you understand that it does have those fruity notes, and that fruity note stays and projects really, really well. I think this a totally safe blind buy. I think for me though, I won't repurchase it, and if I did, maybe I'd give the Blueberry Her Elixir a try over this. If you guys tell me down below that that's even more berry and even more projection, then I might be like, okay, maybe not Burberry Her. Maybe it's not for me, but there are a lot of people who this scent is for. Next up, we have the Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel et du Perfume. It is a floral. It's described as a warm floral. It has the orange, the patchouli, the turquoise rose. It has some scents that I love. I love the orange. I like a good bergamot. I like a good turquoise rose. I didn't know I loved turquoise rose until another fragrance that'll come on here. So I look at the notes in something at times and I'm like, everything I love is in here. For me, again, it has all the notes that I love. Like when it opens, it has all the notes that I love. The issue for me is the projection and the longevity. It's just not there. Like I start losing projection with this very, very early on, which is fine for some people. For me, I want to project, I want longevity there. That's my main issue with this. I think it's also a mature scent. Whereas I might would put Burberry Her a little bit more youthful, feminine, all of that. I'll put Coco Mademoiselle in a more mature lane, which I love a good mature scent. But for me, I don't think I ever get the jasmine or any of the middle notes because it's gone too fast for me. It's here today, gone tomorrow. I think it's a pretty safe blind buy. I probably will not be repurchasing it, but I do think it's also a good layering scent. I find myself reaching for this sometimes to layer with some of my other scents as a good base. Same thing with this. I think these two probably so far have been my two base layering scents that would layer well with something. But for me, this Coco Mademoiselle, I think it's a good scent. For me, it's just not a strong performer. Next up, we have Ariana Grande Cloud. It is in the sweet floral family. The scent says it's a gourmand, as the lavender, the pear, the bergamot, the praline, the beautiful bottle, beautiful gowns, all of that good stuff. When I first got it, everyone said online that this was a dupe for Burberry Her. I pick it up as a weaker Burberry Her. For me, it has low projection, low longevity, which is fine because I don't think Burberry Her layers. I don't think this is too strong to layer. I think with the cloud, I think you could actually layer this because it has that low projection, low. It's a weaker Burberry Her in my opinion. It's not strong at all. Everybody was like, move over, Burberry Her. There's a new girl in town. And I'm like, if you love Burberry hair, I don't know if you would love this. I don't think I would repurchase this, but I think again, an okay layering scent. It's less fruity, I'd say, than Burberry hair. So I'm surprised that they would say this is in comparison to, because I don't really pick up a lot of fruity. I just pick up weakness a little bit with this. And I'm always sad because I'm like, did I get a strange bottle? Like, is my batch different? Because so many people were going so hard. Next, we have a very expensive blind buy. Very expensive blind buy. And I'm going to try to pronounce it and then correct me if I'm wrong. I always title it in my little notes MFK, but it's Mason Francis Curtijon. I think I'm saying that right. It's Gentle Fluidity. A lot of people know him from another fragrance that is also on this list, but Gentle Fluidity, I heard so many good things about it. Mine right now, the bottle is still clear. If your bottle says purple, just know eventually it's the same thing. It's the gold lid. Sometimes this has a tendency to turn purple, so I've heard, but mine so far is still in its clear era. On the site, it says it's a fresh scent. It has several different notes, but the notes I heavily pick up are the nutmeg and amber. For me, I pick up vanilla. I pick up vanilla and I pick up that amber. And the same thing goes. I realize I'm not an amber girl. If I see amber as a highlighted note, or people call it or classify it as an amber something, and it's vanilla also a part of it, I think for me, it's time to realize, Talia, that's not for you. It's for someone else, but it's not for you. I thought I would love this. People go up for this, and it does not negate people who love Gentle Fluidity, but for me, it's an amber woodsy smell again. It is, for me, a fall scent. It's definitely not a summer, spring, fall. It's a fall scent if there ever was a fall scent. I think it has good projection. I think it has good longevity. But for me, projection doesn't matter if it's projection of a scent that I'm not even in love with. I want projection, but I want projection of a scent that I'm proud of, not a scent that I'm like, I'm not even sold on this. I'm not even sold. It's not a safe blind buy because it's so expensive. Do not blind buy this at all. Don't blind buy this at all. I had a gift card. I had a gift card to the department store that I got this from, and I will not repurchase Gentle Fluidity. Next up, we have Way. Way. I just got into their hair care, so I was like also in love with the fact that they have scent, and if it's a fresh scent, sign me up. So this is in the fresh family. It's a fresh floral. The top notes are bergamot, apple, rose, jasmine, violet. Base notes are white musk. I smell the white musk and the patchouli in a much better way than I do bubble bath. Bubble bath and this have a similar scent. I just don't pick up as much of the soapiness from this. This to me is what I mean when I say fresh and clean. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is me. I don't know what exactly is bringing it on out of the scent notes. Like, is it the bergamot? Is it the sapping into that white musk? I do love a good white musk, as you'll probably see throughout this video. Is it the Italian lip? Like, something about this is bringing the keynotes that I love. It smells fresh. It smells linen-y. The reason why we like, well, it feels like it's further down. I see the timestamp. We have further to go. Again, we're getting into things I like. And it just, there happen to be more that I like more. The reason why it's not like top 10 for me is the projection isn't there, which I've noticed a lot of times isn't with a lot of fresh scents. The projection is more there with some of the more floral, fruity, vanilla scents. It's just here today, gone tomorrow. I like it. It just doesn't last long, and that's the sad part of it. It is a safe blind buy, I'd say, if you understand that this is fresh, this is clean, this is bed linens. It just isn't a long time. It's not gonna be here for a long time. I plan on repurchasing it. I think it's repurchasable. I do think that even though it's a perfume, though, it performs like a toilettomy, where it's again not there for a great deal of time. I enjoy it for like if I'm getting fresh out the shower and I might just be around the house and I don't need to use anything of my fanciest. It's just me. It's just me. You don't need to use all that for just me. That's when we're gonna have a controversial one because I know a lot of people dislike this, but we rocking and rolling because we in the club, we all fam. This is the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Toilette. It is a toilette, so it's not a full perfume. It's been always popularized. It's categorized as the fresh family, a fresh citrus and fruit scent. It does have citrus, apple, key notes. Top notes are lemon, cedar wood, all that good stuff. For me, Controversial take, but I like it. I know it smells like pine sol. The lemon comes through, honey. This I don't even have to do the spray test on this one because I know this is something where I there's some scents I need to have a refresher on. This one I don't need. I know the lemon scent is strong, and for some people, I'm gonna say this is not a safe blind buy. This is not a safe blind buy simply because you need to know. You need to know before you get into it. It's fresh, but in a different way. Like whereas this leans fresh, clean, soapy. This leans fresh, clean, lemony, citrusy. It's summer. It's picnic. It's only summer for me. I don't wouldn't pick this up in the winter at all. It's hot day. I'm gonna smell so different than I normally do when I pick up this scent. For me, the projection is mild. I don't think the whole world's gonna be able to smell you. I don't think you're gonna leave the elevator and the scent's gonna linger. And the longevity is mild as well too. I don't think you're gonna have it on or smell yourself at the end of the day in the same way. For me, again, it's not a safe blind buy, but I might would repurchase. I think it might be on my repurchase list. Next up, we have "You Remind Me" from Forever Mood. Jackie. It is in the fresh family. It's a fresh floral, just like Way. It is apricot skin, orange blossom, and sensual musk. For me, it's not a loud projector. It's in the same category I will put Way. It's not a loud fragrance. And Fumi on Fragrance Talk, if you follow any fragrance connoisseur on TikTok, it should be Fumi. You should be very familiar with her. The way she described it was it's good for a flight. And I was like, what do you mean? In my mind, like, what do you mean? And it's not going to upset those around you. Just like Way, I think it's not going to upset those around you, whereas some fragrances might be too strong. So if you work in a field where you can't, like a dentist, if I have my dentist over me, I don't want them to be projecting very heavily some fragrance that I'm not in love with. Or if I'm sick in the hospital and a nurse comes in and I'm already nauseous, if something comes in that's overly, I'm going to be like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot for me. I'm already feeling sick. This is going to be just a calming, fresh scent. It's not going to be a loud fragrance. A projection on this, I don't think is loud at all. I think it is it's good here for a good time, not a long time too. It's not a long lasting scent. But to me, this is a perfect, just like, again, when we talk about I might be around the house, again, I might catch a flight. I'm not here trying to mess up the plane. I'm not trying to be in a middle seat and both the owl and the window person looking at me like, dang. Even if you smell good, just an overabundance of perfume sometimes can just be a bit much. We all know that. I think it's a safe blind buy, and I think I'd repurchase it. I definitely would repurchase. You remind me. Next, we have Daisy Love. Daisy Love by Marc Jacobs. I really, really love this scent. It is a very fruity smell, but it's not too strong of a fruity. It's very sweet. It's very feminine. It has very low lasting power on me. Again, it is a toilette. So it is not, one of those fragrances that is meant to be here for a long time. I think it's a very good layering scent, and I think it's also a very safe blind buy. There's not a lot I can say about this. This is a safe blind buy. I think it's a young scent too. It's not something you have to, if I was going to be buying this for somebody, fragrances are for all ages. But if I really wanted to think about like, scents, I might would go this more mature. This I definitely say under 25. I think this would be so cute. And the bottle's so cute too. This is like a cute little bottle. Again, we're in things I like, so don't think we're in the bottom anymore. We're really primarily in things I like. We're talking about Donna Born In. The scent is amazing. This is the fragrance that really, I think, made me fall in love with blackcurrant. I didn't know what blackcurrant really was before that. Like, I wasn't fully sure, like, what is a blackcurrant scent? Like, I was very familiar with white musk, jasmine, like a lot of scents that I just knew what the base was, but blackcurrant was very newer to me when I got this, and I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this. It would be top for me if it lasted longer. The longevity for me just isn't there. It does have the projection, and I love the projection on it, but it just doesn't have the longevity, and I think that's what holds it back a little bit for me. I do have plans, and I keep a perfume wish list for Christmas. I mean, I'm going to get the intense version of this. I meant to get it during the Sephora VIP sale. I just went back and forth. I waited too long. The 11th passed and I was like, oh, but usually Sephora does have like a holiday sale sometime in December for an addition. They throw in a little holiday thing. So I think I want to get the intense version because I do love this. I just think the intense would just take it up over the notch for me. It is definitely a safe purchase for anyone out there. When it comes to repurchasing, for me, I would definitely repurchase this, but I plan on repurchasing the intense because this is a good performer, solid performer. I want it to go the distance. Next, we have another Replica scent. It is Lazy Sunday Morning. I like Lazy Sunday Morning more than I do Bubble Bath, which is surprising. The fragrance description says it's soft skin and bed linen. It's memory and a fragrance. It's a memory, a thought that you once had. For me, it's a fresh and clean scent. It's a very fresh and clean scent. Smells like those clean sheets again. We're getting back to the clean sheets of it all. Again, we're here for a short time, not a long time though. With Replica's Lazy Sunday Morning, it's a quick morning. The morning has come and it has gone. It's a toilette again. That's what, Replica is known for. But I wish it lasted longer. That's my only gripe with it. But it is good. It's a really good scent. I think it's a safe blind buy if you go in knowing it's fresh, clean. But I don't think I would personally, I don't know if I would repurchase. Next up, this has a special place in me, my heart. I think it's upper on the list because it has a special place in my heart. It's nostalgia in a bottle for me. So this was the first fragrance, not this particular bottle. I've bought it several times. First fragrance I ever bought 10 years ago. I didn't know a lot about fragrances, but my mom loved Ralph Lauren Romance. And so I thought, well, then I like Ralph Lauren Romance. My mom is my mom. If she likes it, I love it. And so I bought it, I think, in my 20s, and then I just kept buying it and buying it. I never bought anything but. And I was like, wait a minute, there are other scents out there. It's Ralph Lauren Romance. This is just the normal version. It's a floral. It's a classic floral. The keynotes are lily, white floral, and musk. I don't know how true it might be, but I do think our youth has a hold on who we become in the fragrance world as an adult. Like, because this was my mom's fragrance, and I smelled it growing up, I think it turned me into a white florals, white musk girl. It just is ingrained with me. When you're a child and you're a teen and you're growing up in your formative years, you know, is it nature versus nurture? I don't know, but this is part of my collection. It's quantified my love for white florals. You'll see as we grow up in the list, there's a lot of white florals. Turkish rose is something I got introduced to later on. Patchouli, the black currant, all of these are scents that I started forming a like for later. But the white florals and all of that is just what I smell. For a lot of people, this is going to be mature. It smells like you came right out of the shower. It's very fresh to me. It's definitely floral. I think this is a safe blind buy. Just know it is, again, white florals. It's really white musk. It's definitely in the fresh family, fresh floral family, and I will be repurchasing it just for nostalgia. This will always have a place on my fragrance wall. If you've seen it, my fragrance wall. It'll always have a place there because it might not be the thing I reach for at the most, but it's earned its spot, Ralph Lauren. You notice I haven't had to pull out my tester recently for when I start getting to my loves because I wear them. I don't need my tester. This one, the way I ranked it, I do need my tester for a moment. I do need to bring it back a little bit because I do know this is, sorry. Let me tell you what it is. This is Good Girl Blush, the Elixir version. So there's Good Girl Blush, and then the Elixir version of the blush. So what it has in it, it says it's a highly concentrated fragrance that embraces the original notes of Good Girl Blush with an intense blend of the ravishing rose, voluminous vanilla, and smoky patchouli. The key notes again, rose, patchouli, and vanilla. I smell the rose. I do smell the rose now. Normally I don't, and I like a rose. I do love a rose. The issue why it's not as high on the list as the blush, I do prefer the Good Girl, the original version of this more. I bought this immediately when it came out. It was released, was it earlier this year? Earlier this year. I had it within maybe 2 weeks after the release because I love the blush. I didn't care. I didn't have to go in the store because I'm like, if I love the blush, I'm gonna love the elixir. Elixirs are usually a concentrated, the name is in the title, it's a concentrated version of the original formula. It's pulling the notes of that and enhancing the notes. For me, It's just not enhancing the notes I want it to. That's the only issue. An enhancement on notes is good if you're a person who's drawn to that particular note. If that note that is enhancing, which for me, it's really enhancing the vanilla. I'm picking that up. I don't know. It's something about it is too much for me. It's an overwhelming scent to me. That's the issue with the elixir in my mind. It does have good projection and good longevity. I think it's really good on those notes, but for me, I won't repurchase it. And I don't think it's a safe blind buy. I would highly suggest you go in the store and test this and the original Good Girl, not original Good Girl, the other Good Girl blush, and see which one you like more. Because sometimes the elixir version of something, some people like the original more than they like the elixir, and sometimes they like the elixir more than they do the original. It just depends on what note drew you to the original in the first place. Next, we have the Good Girl. Just the Good Girl. This is just the regular Good Girl, the OG. Everything else is a flanker. So what a flanker is it's a variant of the original. So it just takes different notes and moves it around. If you've ever seen the shoe collection, there's many a shoe. For me, I have two others, right? Only two others that are higher than this. This is the OG though. It is, I don't have the notes right in front of me, but I'll put it on screen. But I don't need to spray it to remember. It's heavily white florals, which you're gonna be like, ain't that you, girl? It's speaking your language, right? That's what made me buy it. Is it speaking my language? The issue is the coffee bean and the cocoa for me. That's the notes they're in here. They're keynotes. That's what's triggering me. Going back to, let's take it back to the OG. What do I not love about this? The cocoa. Cocoa comes through, coffee bean comes through. It ain't gonna be for me, honey. I thought the white florals would just overpower it and just take it to the next level. For me, a lot of people are saying that I was gonna like this, so that's why I bought it. I was like, y'all know me. I think I got the biggest version of it too. I think it's bigger than the, no, maybe it's the same size. No, I think it's bigger. I think I got the bigger version. Carolina Herrera makes all the Good Girls. I should have started with that. I just call it Good Girl, but Carolina Herrera is the main. Why am I wobbly? Why am I heel wobbly? I think that's what messes it up for me. It's a good scent for me, but I still pick up so much of that cocoa and coffee bean that after a minute, I'm like, this isn't my favorite. It's long lasting. I think it has pretty good projection as well. I won't be repurchasing it just because I have other varieties of Good Girl that I love more than the OG model. I think it's a safe blind buy though. If you hear what I'm saying and hear that it's a white florals, mature white florals with cocoa and coffee. If you're hearing that and that's fine for you, safe blind buy. If you're hearing that and you're like, absolutely not, then do not blind buy it. Next we have Valentino Floral Fantasy. I bought this because of one of you guys. One of you guys actually heard me talk about my love for Born in Roma, and you're like, you're gonna love the Coral Fantasy even more. And what do you know? I kind of do. I kind of do. Now, it's in the fruity floral family. One of the top notes is the orange essence. It does have jasmine flowers, and the base notes is that woody musk. For me, you're speaking my language. The orange, I didn't know I liked orange because orange to me seems overpowering. Like orange to me, like I don't want to smell like a mandarin or orange or all of that. I think it's the combination of the orange. It has the jasmine. I love it, just jasmine and things. And then I think the woody musk at the bottom, a little musk always does me good. And I love that about this. I never thought I would like something orange, and I actually do. For me, the longevity, I put it at a 9. It has very good longevity and a very strong projection. And I noted on here that I was complimented. When I wear these out for the weeks, I see how many compliments I get. This was complimented in that week heavily. So it's more fruity than floral. And I'm a very heavy floral girl. And I typically lean more floral than fruity. But if it's done right, it's done right. And I have to tip my hat to it. This is done right. This is a safe blind buy. I did blind buy this based on you guys' recommendation, and I'm so thoroughly pleased, and it's definitely a repurchase for me. Next up, another Carolina Herrera Good Girl variant. This is Good Girl. This is very Good Girl. This is part of the florals family, but fruity florals as well. It has that red currant in it. It's rose, and it has vanilla. I'd say for me, I like this because It was different. I don't have anything that is really red berries. For me, it was like red berries, red berries, red berries, red berries. I get a lot of red berries. Like I was like almost cherry in my mind, but then I looked at the notes and it's just red berries. It has red currant. It has a little bit of lychee, it says in here as well. It has the rose. Everything about this is chef's kiss to me. Again, it's just like the Coral Fantasy. I love it because it's nothing else like it, I think, in my collection. I don't have anything with that strong red berries scent. I think it has a good projection. It does have good longevity. It's a safe blind buy if you know go in knowing. Is it floral? No. Sometimes I think we just throw out florals. I think we throw out florals because fruity is a variant of floral, but I think it's just fruity. I think it's fruity, but it done in a really good way. I will repurchase very, very good, not very, very good girl. Just one just very good girl by Carolina Herrera. Next, we have Kayali, the only Kayali fragrance I have, but probably not the last one I own. It is this Eden Sparkling Lychee. It is floral, again, another fruity floral. Its keynotes, of course, that sparkling lychee, the rose, and then the vanilla absolute. I smell fruits. I smell young. I smell young with this. This is a youthful scent to me, and I love that. Not childish. I'm not saying it's a childlike scent. It's youth in a bottle to me. I like the lychee. It has good projection. It's not nauseatingly sweet either. I think it's a safe blind buy, and I definitely would repurchase it. Y'all don't cuss me out for this, because I just got a comment on a video about this fragrance. This is the Giorgio Armani, or not Giorgio Armani. I don't know if he likes to go by Armani Beauty now, or Giorgio. Is Armani Beauty when it's makeup and Giorgio Armani when it's fragrances? It is a Giorgio Armani My Way. I got a comment that said, I was talking about wanting to get the intense version of this, and someone was like, oh, I don't like it. I don't see how people like it. Different bodies, different scents, different loves. This is a mature scent. I understand how people could not love it. Actually, I'm the opposite. Your comment doesn't hurt me because I can see people not. I already have this as not a safe blind buy. This is not a safe blind buy at all because it is mature. Whereas I just got off of Eden and I said, I smell young. You're gonna not smell so young. Get ready to not smell young. This is in the woody family, as the scent says. It does have the bergamot, it has the jasmine, it has the white musk at the bottom. To me, this is a white floral. This is a white floral. We know, knowing me is to know where I started from. To know where I started from, you know that's where my nose is. That's where my palate is. I can't help it. It does, for me, have strong projection and good longevity. It's not a safe blind buy, like I said, but I do plan on purchasing the intense version of it. I love it. I have the travel size of this too. This is something I keep the travel size of either in my suitcase or my pocketbook. I do know I have the travel version of this though. Next up, we have another one I have the travel version of as well. It is Prada Paradox. It's known as a floral. For me, it has good longevity, good projection, good everything. It is just a solid performer. Like, I don't think I could recommend this to anybody and I would be steering them in the wrong direction in the least bit. Sorry, I'm gonna say I would blind buy this and I recommend this, but I blind bought also the Prada Paradox Intense version. So the Intense version, but I bought it in travel size first, which is the smart thing to do. For me, I think this might be the second time this has happened on this list where I like the original more than the intent version of it. So again, this is the original. I think the intense version comes in a bottle just like this as well, and it looks more intense. Like the red is deeper. I don't know if I got the wrong. I bought it during the Sephora sale. I don't know if I got the wrong thing, but the projection on this, it disappears every single time. I don't know if it's an error or what, but online it says this is a warm florals, it's jasmine, it's amber, it's moss. It says the Prada Intense takes the original perfume and turns it up ever so slightly. I don't get none of that. Yeah, I don't get none of that. To me, you turned it down a bit. But again, our noses pick up different things depending on who we are. I prefer the regular over the intense. So I'm gonna repurchase. If I repurchase again, it's definitely gonna be the regular version. That's weird to say because again, normally you're supposed to like the intense more than the regular. Next, I want to talk about two fragrances at the same time because they're the same thing, different font. And if you're in the fragrance world, you already know what time we on. We're talking about Perfumes de Marly, Oriana, and then we're talking Love Don't Be Shy by Killian. Now I do have the travel version of Love Don't Be Shy, so that's why it's in a little tube. You guys know the bottle. If you've seen the bottle, you know the real size bottle of this. But Oriana and this, the same scent. The same scent. Let me go through the notes of, let me go through Oriana first. It's a gourmand, floral, fruity fragrance. Has top notes of mandarin, orange blossom, black currant, raspberry, marshmallow, musk. And then next, we're going to go through love, and you might see some similarities as I talk about this one. It's in the florals. It says it's a warm florals. It says it has orange blossom, vanilla, and marshmallow. That orange blossom and that marshmallow come together in the same exact way in both of these fragrances. They are both super sweet. I think for me, I put them in the same category because they smell the same to me, but Oriana smells way stronger than Love Don't Be Shy. And I love Don't Be Shy more because of that. Because this is so strong, to me, these both smell like tricks. It took me a while to put what I thought it smelled like. I wore it over and over again, and I wrote down, smells like tricks to me. You know, remember the cereal growing up, the trick cereal? That's exactly what this smells like to me. This smells like it, but then this smells like a watered down version of it, and I like a watered down version of it better. So if I had to pick between Oriana and Don't Be Shy by Killian, we're gonna go with Don't Be Shy. Don't Be Shy is really good in my opinion. They're both long wearing, both have great projection, but in terms of blind buying it, I don't think either is a safe blind buy. I really would prefer you to go because the marshmallow note is not anything I have in anything else. Just make sure you like that first. If I'm going to repurchase one, I'm going to 100% purchase Don't Be Shy by Killian. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush. Now, this is the Good Girl Blush that I like. Not the elixir, but this. It's a floral family, warm floral scent. It has the bergamot, the mandarin, the vanilla absolute, and the tonka bean. It has a great longevity. Definitely something I'm going to repurchase. It's a spring fragrance. It's very feminine, and I think it's a safe blind buy. I love this. This smells date. It smells whimsical. It smells like I'm in my girl era. Like I'm just a girl. Like I'm a passenger princess. I get passenger princess. What do you expect? I'm just a girl. Like I get that. It makes me blush a little bit. I love it. I love it. We're in top 5 category right now, and I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this. When I bought this fragrance, I actually bought the wrong fragrance. So this is La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. I got Gaultier. Am I saying his name right? I'm trying to be respectful of the French pronunciation of people's names, but Jean Paul Gaultier. It's La Belle. It's La Belle Intense. This is the intense version. The fragrance family is Amber, which surprise, surprise! The Amber's on this list in the top 5. This is crazy. But it has notes of tonka bean, green pear, and vanilla pod. Again, I bought this because I thought I was buying the normal version. I bought it online and I bought the intense version by accident. I got it and I was taken aback when you first spray. When you first spray this, I'm gonna say right now, not a safe blind buy. Do not blind buy this like I blind bought it. But I was after a while impressed because it's sexy. It's sexy. Where everything I just said, the last one, feminine, flowing through. I'm wearing boots, honey. It's night. It's 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're in a darkly lit restaurant. The restaurant is giving dark. I don't know what we'll get into after this. And the bottle is sexy too, but don't just some bottles don't need to be sexy to be sexy. This is sexy. This is the first time I've used the word sexy in this whole video. Have you noticed it? Because that's what this is. That's what this is. I pick up the pear so much from this. Again, I don't need to spray some of these that I know. I don't need to spray it because I pick up more of the pear than anything, which is strange because nothing else that I have I ever said. Have you heard me say I pick up the pear? I smell the pear, and I like that I smell the pear. The intensity of this is hard. The projection on this is hard. The longevity on this is hard. This goes hard, honey. I will repurchase it, but I want to purchase the non-intense version actually. I want to see what I was gonna get because it might like this might be a situation where I love the intense. I might actually love the regular even more. Number four, we have a Replica Beach Walk. The number one replica on my plate. It is a fresh fragrance, a fresh solar fragrance. It has bergamot, coconut milk. Is it heliotrope? It's a fresh unisex perfume inspired by a stroll along the ocean and sunny summer days where radiant bergamot and ylang ylang blend with creamy coconut and soothing white musk. It's funny because this again is a toilette, but it has such great performance. It has further reaching projection and longevity that I don't have from the other replica fragrances that I love this. This is just enough. It's summer. It's summer in a bottle. It's just exactly how it says. It's picture yourself on a beach. This is it. I will repurchase it, and I think it's a very safe blind buy, even if you just hear the notes and it's something that you like. The top Mason Francis Cardigan fragrance for me. Call me simple, whatever, whatever. People say it's overplayed, whatever. I don't care. Baccarat Rouge me every time. Now this is the extract, so people might know the extract is in a red bottle. They do have a normal version of this as well, but I bought the intense version because I'm like, if I'm gonna like the regular, I'm gonna like the intense more. It's not a safe blind buy just because it's expensive. You got to make sure you're gonna love the notes, but the notes on this is it is in the woody ambery floral family. It does have jasmine from Egypt, saffron heart notes, bitter almond, cedar wood, base notes, so musky wood accord. It smells spicy in a good way. It's spicy. It's sexy. Again, date night. Smells sexy. Smells good. Smells spicy to me. I get a hint of spice. Almost like the doesn't smell like Big Red. I want to preface does not smell like Big Red, but every time I want to reference this, I always want to reference Big Red. You know how when you chew in the Big Red, you get a little whoop? I think you get a little whoop with this as well. A little woof with this as well. My number two favorite, the Lina Exclusive by Perfumes de Marly. It has the pear, lychee, and grapefruit to Turkish rose again, and the white musk. Best time to wear this for me is spring, fall, winter, any season really, any special occasion. It dries down very powdery to me, and I don't know how to best explain that, but it just smells light. Like it doesn't, it's not overpowering. It has great projection, great longevity, but not in a way that's overpowering. That's what I will say. This is date night, but no, not date night. Date, but the date is pre 7 o'clock. It's still sun outside when the date's happening. It's a good brunch. It's a good brunch with friends. It's a good brunch date. It's a good. I love it. I love. There's not an occasion I can think not to wear this. It's a heavily complimented. I get compliments all the time. Compliments out the wazoo. Even though it's expensive, I think it's a safe blind buy. I think it is. I don't see how anybody could hate this fragrance. It's a safe blind buy in my opinion, and I'm going to repurchase it. I'm gonna cry when I do because it's gonna be costly, but I'm gonna repurchase it. And last but not least, YSL Lieb is gonna get her moment to shine. Yes, he is. This is my scent. This is me. This is me and about this is me. I even Sephora. My birthday is this month. Sephora, had their little birthday things. They had the fragrance as a little word. Sometimes I say Libre, and I know that's the American way. I think it's Lib, if I'm saying it in the French pronunciation. Why is it Lib? YSL, this is from the floral family, warm floral, a lavender keynote, the orange blossom, and the musk accord. Smells expensive. Smells expensive to me. To me, it's a white floral though. It's the queen of queens of white florals. I grew up like I feel like this was my childhood. This is my adulthood. This is the elevation. We have come. We have arrived. I am in my white florals supreme. This is who you gotta fight. The final girl boss of the white florals. This is high coming for you. I love this scent. I love it so much that for the Sephora VIB sale, I bought the intense version of it. I just got it, so I don't want to give a full review. I haven't spent a week in it enough. The Sephora sale just ended like what, a week ago, and when I'm recording this, when you're watching this, it's sometime in December. I haven't had the time to spend with it. I've loved it so far. I haven't been upset with my purchase. Again, the student might become the master soon. It might overtake this, but I know that's not going to be everybody's bag. Some people like a fruity. White florals is the name of the game with me. The last thing I wanted to mention was a black-owned brand that I love as well. That is not technically fragrances. It's not perfumes, but it is Brown Sugar Babe. Brown Sugar Babe. They make perfume oils and they make body oils. They might make other stuff, but the two things I'm most familiar with is their body oils and their perfume oils. So I'll start with the perfume oils. It's just an extract that intensifies the fragrances, and they have versions of other fragrances, so dupes, I will say, of other fragrances that use the intensity. So they have the Wild Card. I bought the Brown Sugar Babe Wild Card. This is a extract, and it smells just like Baccarat Rouge 540. So when I layer Baccarat Rouge, I put that underneath. We talking about intensity. I don't need a travel size of that because I put this perfume oil on. I put these two, baby. Coming home at midnight smelling the same way I did when I left the house at 8 a.m. That's what the perfume oil does. And I also have Rich on Tea. Rich on Tea, which is a not a is an extract or smells like it's described on the site as Delina Exclusive, or might be just Delina. There is a version of this that's just Delina. Exclusive is the enhanced version. It's a version of it. But I pair these again. Delina performs on her own pretty well, very well. This is just again bringing it to midnight, bringing it to the very end of the day. And then their body oils, I apply these after the shower. And I have the same versions. I have Wild Card. They also have a version of the YSL in a body oil and a perfume oil. You know I'm buying that. You know I'm buying that. So their scents are incredible. It's just an enhancement of what you already own in your scent. So if you just want to bring it up a notch, I just apply it on my wrist. Then I spray my fragrance on top of it. I'm drowning in it. I love it. I bought everything with my own money. If Brown Sugar Baby wants to put me on some PR list, I'm happy to take it, but it is a great scent. But that's it. That's my perfume collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Even if you didn't, still give it a big thumbs up. We want all the love and support over here on this channel, as well as we want you to subscribe so you don't miss a thing we do over here. Have that notification bell on so you're alerted when we do new things over here. And make sure you're following me on Instagram at LiaLavon89 to keep up with my shenanigans in real time. TikTok at LiaLavon, which is a few more shenanigans and a bit more real time. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.